Before I came to the Rock, my life wasn't the best either because what going on with my mom and how she was gone for 3 years doing drugs, and then she was gone again for 2 more years because she went to prison.
No matter what's happening in their lives, at home, at school, that, we're always a safe place for them to go.
And then I got to the Rock, and I got to get closer to God, so God made it easier too. It made me feel better instead of always feeling depressed and hurt, that feel lonely and stuff.
There's a lot of things that they have no control over, that they just are in a tough situation because of choices somebody else has made in their life.
So things were kind of rough. There was talk about my parents getting divorced, and there was talk about just things being changed. There was a lot of change in my life. So when I came to Youth for Christ, I was in a real low spot because I felt like I didn't know anybody. But they just, with even the kids and the adults, volunteers and stuff like that, just so willing to get to know me and stuff, it really gave me a sense of belonging. And throughout the course of the years that I came here, he really helped me with how my walk with God was and helping me to really grow as a leader and as a follower of Christ.
The purpose of Youth for Christ is to reach out to young people and to share the gospel with them. We want to change lives. We want to make lives better.
Ever since my mom and my dad got divorced, my mom, she's mad at me now. She has tried bringing me down a lot and saying that I'm nothing. And now that I came to the Rock, it's just gotten way closer to God. I'm hoping the best of it because they said, Rick said, they said that my mom, she would sooner or later talk to me, and that kind of brought my spirits up because I would love to talk to my mom, and it's just really helpful from them. Sometimes my mom brings me down, but not as much as Rick and everybody here that brings me up. It keeps me on track because my friends, they did a bunch of stuff, they drank and stuff, and they smoked and everything. Ever since come to the Rock, it's I hang out with better people.
Hearing truth and seeing the love of the staff, and it all kind of comes together, and many times a lot of them will say, yes, I want to be a follower of Jesus. I understand now that he really does love me. Maybe I didn't get it from the words you said, but I got it by how you treat me and how you care for me.
The before in my life was pretty much not coming to Jesus to anything. It wasn't all that great because my mom, she just wasn't really a great mom, if you want to put it that way. My dad was starting to do drugs and alcohol and all that when I was young. Once I started coming here regularly, that's when I just start turning around and coming to God.
I'm excited to see him transform over the next few years. Just kind of see he's becoming more open to that God has a plan for him.
They just pretty much welcomed me into their home and just kept me out of trouble, literally out of trouble, because every time that I would pretty much fall away from God, they'd be there to help me out of the grave. Having them is probably one of the best things that happened to me in a long while.
I think that the kids see in the staff and the volunteers, they see compassion modeled, they see caring modeled, and as a result, they begin to model some of that themselves towards the other kids.
I used to be a really bad kid and get in a lot of trouble and stuff, but here, it's I became a better person. I can let things go. People that I've gotten fights with, I'm really good friends with. It's oh my gosh, I didn't know I could change this much. I didn't know I could be friends with them.
I know my mom said, or she has said, that before I came up to the Rock and got involved, she wasn't sure about me. But yeah, she saw a change in me after coming up here. I went from knowing about God into having a relationship with him.
Before Youth for Christ, I didn't really have an outlet for my heart for people. And so coming to Youth for Christ, I got that outlet every week, you know. I got to pour into kids.
From the kid that I came here to start with, I was the kid that was troubled and didn't know what he was going to do and didn't know what was next. So it's kind of nice that I progressed in my walk with God to be able to be put in a position where I can listen to these kids' stories and really hear where they're coming from.
Going through an internship, you really learn to put your needs second and become more selfless.
It gets to be kind of emotional sometimes to be able to hear some of these stories and not get heartbroken for these kids, because they have so many hard stories in their lives and they go through so many hard things that I don't think that any kid should have to go through.
All these kids really need is love, and I wanted to be there to give them love.
Youth for Christ has impacted me personally. It's impacted my children personally. And so I'm just grateful that we have the opportunity to have Youth for Christ in this community.
I've been coming here like every day for the last 2 years, and it's like, thank gosh I found this place. It's like really happy for me, and I'm really happy I'm a different person.